a place that I run to, a place of comfort, a place that's going to strengthen me, in my time of sorrow, in my time of pain, in my time of grief. That's why it's important that we get into the Word of God, so that when we face difficulties of sorrow, that we are able to hold on to the Word of God, knowing that the Word of God is going to strengthen us so that we continue going forward. Because we as a people, we need to continue going forward. We can't sit there and just, cry our eyes out every single day. You know what? It's not going to help us. Think about David. David says, in the story of David and his son, the sin that he committed with Bathsheba, it says that when David heard that his son was going to die, what did David do? David found himself in a place where he's fasting and he's praying, he's asking God, that God would change his heart. But when the servant came and told David, your son is dead, what did David do? He got up, washed himself, and he took off the sackcloth and everything that he had on, and he went into the house of God, and he worshiped the Lord. That's why it's important that we know the Word of God and that we worship God in beauty of holiness, because only God can wipe away the tears. Only God can take away the pain that we face in our time of sorrow. And so for us as Christians, we may sorrow when our brother or sister in the Lord passed on, and yet we do not sorrow like those who have no hope. Man, for us as believers, we don't sorrow like those who have no hope. The people that have no hope, guess what? Their life is always in despair. Their life is always living in hopelessness, because they have no answer to the things that they're going through. They have no answers to the pain that they're going through. For us as Christians, we have the Word of God. For us as believers, we have each other to encourage one another, to build each other up. And that's why for us to comfort one another, comforting others in their loss. These words are for us to comfort others in their loss of a loved one. And we find in John chapter 11:19 that many of the people had come to comfort Mary and Martha in their loss of their brothers. Think about it, that when Lazarus passed on, all these people came to Mary and Martha's house. Now, sometimes it says that they were hirelings. They come over there just so that they can make a big scene, in the sense that they're mourning for the loss. But yet the key is that they came. They came to mourn the loss of their brother. They came. It's important for us to come alongside somebody, to help somebody out, when they're struggling through their time of difficulties. It's important for us to call somebody when you know that they're sick, or when you know that they're struggling with the death in the family. That's why it's important that we need to call one another and pray for that person. And Paul tells us in Romans 12, verse 15, that we are to weep with those who weep. And then for us as Christians, we can do more to provide comfort to others. We are to comfort others with the same comfort that God has comforted us in 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. See, the struggle that you're facing today, through the passing of somebody, or maybe the affliction that you're facing, you're going through it because God knows the time and place that He's going to use you in somebody else's life. God is going to use you to comfort somebody that might be going through the same pain that you are experiencing in your life today. And that same pain that you are experiencing today, God knows exactly the person that He's going to align you with, because He wants you to comfort others as you have been comforted by Him.